What's going on, guys? I haven't seen you in a while. Well, come on in. What are you doing here? Oh, you just want to know the tales from the crypt. Well, take a seat. Hey, over here. No, I don't judge you for what you guys fucking watch in your own house, so why don't you mind your business, okay? Do you want a story or not? That's what I thought. Alright, so why don't you open up your little fucking ear holes and let's talk. Alright?
So this particular tale happens to take place about 8 years ago, if I recall correctly, around the time of my Sweet 16. Now, in order to give a general direction in which this story is going to go, I feel like I should explain that my disease leaves me with a compromised immune system. So that means something as basic as the common cold could potentially lead me to being in the hospital for a long period of time if I don't treat it right away. Now, I'm pretty good with keeping up with the whole, not dying thing, for the most part. However, sometimes death likes to hit me up and be like, hey, I just got done killing this little kid's puppy, and, I'm really missing that sweet crippled ass of yours. And that's kind of what happened this particular day, because I remember waking up in a pool of my own sweat and not being able to breathe. And I don't know if you guys know much about the etiquette of living. You kind of need to breathe, and I wasn't doing that so well, so I had to go to the hospital. The thing about the ER and me is that at this point, I'm there so often and for so long that every staff member, every nurse, doctor, janitor, you name it, knows me by face. I don't need to be registered in the system. I don't need to have the wristband, anything. I just pull up and they're like, hey, Donovan. It's like the opening of Cheers. So I sit down in the waiting room, patiently just waiting for me to get back there. Meanwhile, there's some fucking bitch that is there because she has a toothache, and she gets in before me. And it's cool, no big deal, right? Your cavity is way more important. Fucking, you've probably just eaten too many sweets, and now you got a little boo-boo in your mouth, and fucking, meanwhile, I'm turning blue, and I can't fucking breathe, but yeah, fuck me, right? No, it's cool. I'm not salty about that at all. When I get to the back, it's usually pretty routine. They have to do all their treatments. I won't get into detail, but basically they just get me stable and breathing again, and they either send me home or they might keep me a few days to make sure that I'll be okay. However, when the doctor entered the room, he kind of had a demeanor about him. It was almost as if he was about to tell me that they've lost my child during birth. But that's when he proceeded to tell me, I don't know how to tell you this, but we ran some blood tests multiple times, and we think you might have tuberculosis. Now, I'm going to be straight up front with you guys. I knew nothing about tuberculosis, and I continue to not know about tuberculosis, only because at this point in time, all I knew was that even the most healthy, able-bodied person that had tuberculosis was more than likely going to fucking die. So I had to be there fuck, what do we do, doc? But before I could even get that question out, next thing I knew, the fucking hazmat team from Monsters, Inc. comes in with their ET suits, and they're moving me up to the pediatric floor. Now, the cool thing about the pediatric floor is that it's probably one of the most calming places to be when you're told you might be dying, because everything is really bright and bubbly, The hallways are painted with, fluffy clouds and butterflies flying around them, and it's just a beautiful place, really calming. What I didn't know is that if you followed the hallway down long enough, it eventually leads to a dark, secluded area, and they have an isolation room, and that's where I was. So that fucking sucked. My room consisted of 2 separate rooms. The one room you entered, which was hermetically sealed to keep germs from entering or leaving, and if you were going to be entering my room, you would have to put on a gown, a mask, get sprayed down, the whole fucking shebang. Also, I didn't get you sick. And then there was my room, which was an all-white room that just had my bed, my medical equipment, and a TV. Now, when they settled me in, they had to also do a few different things that I wasn't really used to. They gave me this different kind of IV that pretty much went into my forearm. It entered one of the more important veins in your body, and it went into your vein and stopped right outside of your heart. So basically, any medicine that I was getting was going directly into the core of my body. Also, as if it couldn't have been even more shitty, because of the severeness of the diagnosis, my nurses would routinely come in and I would get absolutely no sleep. I mean, I was lucky to get about 2 hours of sleep at best a day. Because of all the treatments that I was on, I was also in a lot of physical pain. So they also had me on like doses of hydrocodone, which for all intents and purposes is just flat out medical heroin. So the whole time I was basically Kurt Cobain minus the talent and being dead. I was basically dying, but I wasn't dead yet. So you might recall me saying at the beginning of the story that this all took place around my 16th birthday. Yeah. How awesome is it that you get to spend your birthday in a room where shit ton of people have probably fucking died and you didn't know whether or not you were gonna fucking make it? You see, I didn't know at the time that there was a local event happening downtown to help raise money for the hospital. The particular event happened to be a rodeo. The people running the rodeo thought it would be a really sweet and kind gesture to send the rodeo clowns up to the pediatric floor to say hello to all the little, kids and all the little boys and girls and cheer them up. Everyone in the hospital knew about this, except for me. So there I am in my room. My nurse just left after giving me my heroin directly to my heart. And I'm tripping balls, trying to go to sleep, even if it's just for a little bit. And the next thing I notice, I hear something coming from the little isolation room. Now, realistically, it probably wasn't as bad as I imagined. What happened in my brain was more something like this. Now, because of that, I kid you not, I was so fucking terrified. I don't know what was going on. All I knew was that I saw a fucking clown pointing at me. He could have talked. He could have said words. I could have heard him. But he was mouthing words. He was pointing at something in my room. Now, I didn't know that my father had been up to visit me at some point. Apparently, I was just so fucking out of it, I didn't realize that he had dropped off a bunch of cupcakes for my birthday in the shape of a bear, which, side note, I think it's a weird thing that that's something you give your 16-year-old son on his birthday, but like, whatever, they're cupcakes. I'm not pissed about that. What I am very fucking emotional about right now is the clown pointing at them saying, I'm gonna come in there and I'm gonna take a cupcake. I am so legitimately full of fucking fear that I piss myself in the bed. No fucking joke. I fucking pee myself out of fear. Do you know how fucking, do you imagine the amount of, emotion you had to feel in order to wake up and just instantly piss yourself in fear? I had to have a battle plan. As soon as he says that, I look him dead in the face and I yell, if you come in here, I am going to spit in your fucking throat. I don't know why that was the first thing I said, but you know what? In my brain, I was like, I don't have anything. I can't fucking fight this clown, but you know what? Maybe I can play the long game and kill him with my tuberculosis. And as soon as I said that, he backed off. He fucking walked away. Never had to deal with that fucker again. Nobody fucking dealt with me, and I didn't deal with them, and that's all I fucking wanted. Also, I should probably note that I was fine. I didn't have tuberculosis. It was something weird. I actually had swine flu, but I'm fine. It's all good. No worries.
Alright, and what was that? Hope you enjoyed the little story. I gave you guys what I could. If you didn't like it, that's fine. We don't want you here. But if you did, make sure to leave a comment telling me what you liked about it. Subscribe if you're new. And yeah, get the fuck out of my house. Get the fuck, bye, leave. Next time we'll talk, but I don't need you here anymore. Bye.
Been under press, hey, I'm depressed. I must sleep for 4 days and never.